Burgundy Blue Commentary. Burgundy Commentary. Hey guys, welcome back to Burgundy Blue Commentary. I really appreciate you being here. So let's talk about one of the hottest TikTok couples right now. Charles, your lunch is ready. That's right, Miss Netta and Charles. And you guys, they started off with these fun, lovable skits. And then it turned into Miss Netta fixing Charles lunch every day. And it was just adorable, cute. A little merch came out, and it was just fun. And everybody started recreating the Charles, your lunch is ready. And it was like a loving thing. It really wasn't drama filled until people wanted to start to know more about Miss Netta. Sexuality rise. What does she identify as? Things of that nature. People started coming up saying they grew up with Miss Netta and they knew this and they knew that. Well, during all of this, Miss Netta was still blowing up with her man Charles, right? And now it's getting kind of icky. People are digging around in Miss Netta background, digging around in Charles' background, and Miss Netta came out. She's snapping every day. She's turning a little negative. Even one person got on live to address like the negativity. Miss Netta has called herself self-proclaimed, like the attitude just changed. She calling people broke. She's going around saying they're social media icons, allegedly even similar to Fiance. It really got to Miss Netta head. Charles has since started his own social media, and the consensus generally is that people are thinking that, Charles is much younger. Miss Netta kind of found him down and out, sort of, and she did a lot for Charles. Now, I have with my own ears heard Miss Netta mention how much she's done for Charles, but she cleans it up a little bit and said, well, he's done for me too. So everybody's trying to find out what's going on. Now Charles has his own social media. The women, even Saucy Santana, okay, is coming talking about how fine Charles is. And now, even if you went to Charles' channel, which is titled Charles Miss Netta Man, Miss Netta getting on there on his lives, going off on people too. So it went so far that Miss Netta was like, I'm not going to address the haters. I'm not going to address anything. And then you know what she said? She said, but we got a TV deal. Boom. Okay. That just clicked in my head immediately. And it made me think of this other social media couple. I don't know if you guys were familiar last year, 2022, it was Miss Hillary and Nate. Now, not compare. This is a little bit of comparison, and I want to tell you, it's not a comparison just based on the. And I'm trying to be gentle. Sexuality, gender roles. I don't know, but it is a age different, and it is familiar. So I started following Miss Hillary last year with Nate because it came across my FYP page, and she was in love, and this man was and I'm gonna be honest, publicly kissing her, and it didn't matter. And Miss Hillary had money, right? So she was like, this is my husband, Nate. They were getting married on the beach, and Nate was in the videos. She was showing Nate six-pack, and Nate is fine, okay? So all of a sudden, Nate gets a page, and I'm just bringing by how familiar this story is to Miss Netta's story. And Miss Hillary was showing her man off, and women started coming out like, and everyone, women, men, people who are non-binary, they were coming out saying, hey, Nate is fine, easy on the eyes. Well, they legally were married. Unlike Miss Netta, Hillary told us that she was intersex, so she had both. She told us she had both male and female parts. Okay, so once Mr. And I want to be clear, you ain't got to tell us what's on your pants, period. But Miss Hillary did. And this was a very different couple. I just have to say it. So Nate got his page, and then and I'm going fast because this story went on for about a year, and he started inboxing another girl, and Miss Hillary found out, and she was going off, this my husband, this my man. She was riding down to Nate's house. Because Nate moved out. She was repoing the cars. Allegedly, it was just a lot. So at this time, Miss Hillary go live and tell us all she had a TV deal. A TV deal, just like Miss Netta, with her and her man. And now it's all messed up because of social media, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I had lost contact with them because it became so negative. Like when stuff, like even with Miss Netta, I'm starting not to watch as much, but it started to become real, real negative, right? Where Miss Hillary was calling people sluts and it was going down. Well, guys, when I saw Miss Netta talk about the TV deal, because they never say what network, I just always wonder. I Googled what happened. In October, Nate filed a restraining order. Now, let me go back again. Miss Hillary was live on TikTok. 3-4 of her TikToks got shut down. Then she had to get to a certain number on Instagram, and people were following and adding because they wanted to see her go live, right? And she was getting the numbers up, but then because she was kind of being so verbally abusive to Nate and the other girl that he was seeing or inboxing, those pages got shut down too. So I found out in October, Mr. Nate then went all the way down to the Supreme Court in Virginia to stop Hillary from talking about him on social media, his own wife. And he actually said he felt like he was outed. Now, I don't know how you're outed if you're married to this person. You know, it was a lot. The mom called. It was a lot going on. So he went to the Supreme Court. So I want to tell you guys what has happened since then. So it says, this is a title, 48-year-old intersex social media star can now post about her estranged 24-year-old husband after court lifts a restraining order. It was a whole restraining order, a whole gag order where no one wanted, where Nate was trying to get Hillary to stop talking about him and take everything down. Now, this was just a month ago, right? So it says a court order barring an intersex influencer from posting about her estranged husband and their unraveling marriage has been lifted less than a month after being issued in a case of Connecticut Supreme Court. They had agreed to take it up. Hillary Sanchez, who's 48, had petitioned the Supreme Court to consider her free speech case on an expedited basis after the issuance of a restraining order in late October, prohibiting Sanchez from posting about her relationship on social media. Recently, the judge behind the restraining order lifted it, so the Supreme Court has removed Sanchez versus Sanchez from its docket. Remember, they were legally married. Sanchez, described by the Hartford Courant as a social media star, made the argument that, and guys, listen to this part, made the argument that the social media restriction would end up costing her a multi-million-dollar television deal. And it apparently has. The restraining order also barred Sanchez from contacting her 24-year-old husband, Nate Sanchez. The Courant reports Nate Sanchez applied for the restraining order after he claimed his wife posted lies about him online, leading to a deluge of harassing posts from her followers. She's saying all those things, that I'm lazy, that I'm a bum, that I used her for money, that she supported me, that I'm a cheater, that I'm like screwing everyone that walks. Sorry. This is a quote from Sanchez as saying during a hearing on his petition for a restraining order. And this is more of the quote. Like, she's making me out to be this person that I'm not. It makes me feel bad because I have family and friends that just look at me like I'm this crazy person. And they're like, I've never seen you like this. And it's like, she's online every day. All right. At the same hearing, Sanchez said produce. Hillary Sanchez said produce a contract for a $2 million production deal. Hillary says, I signed this deal, she said, denying what she was doing was harassment, as Nate contends. Our social media posts have reached over 22.5 billion views. We are a social media people. People are interested in us. I'm 48, he's 24. We were married. They are interested in how the demographics of this marriage happened. What is going on? Was I his sugar mama? Was he a sugar baby? There are all types of questions in the public. Hillary Sanchez said on one of her social media posts that she was born an intersex person with both male and female genitalia. Nate Sanchez, now a realtor, said he thought he was marrying a woman, but only discovered afterward that Hillary is intersex. A statement noted in a police report obtained by the venerated Daily. Prior to moving to Connecticut, Hillary Sanchez lived in Washington, where documents show she was arrested 9 times between 1996 and 2015. This is what the current reports. In 2002, she allegedly convinced people that she had won a $93 million lottery jackpot and was accused of using the supposed win as a collateral to obtaining financing on purchases including a $140,000 Hummer. The scam fell apart, according to an article in the Seattle Times, when she appeared on television claiming to have a winning Mega Millions ticket and was spotted by police who had outstanding warrants for her arrest on forgery and theft. Neither Hillary nor Nate Sanchez could be reached for a comment on Monday. Whoa. So, you guys, I'm going to link both these articles below. I would love to know your thoughts. This just made me think about Miss Netta and Charles. They started out so sweet. They got such a good following, more of a loving following. Yes, you're going to have haters. Yes, people are going to want to know what is Miss Netta gender-wise for whatever reason. How did her and Charles get together? Much like this story. This is what they want to know. So it happens, but now it's turned into negativity, and I find it very like a coincidence that all of a sudden Miss Charles and Netta got a deal, multi-million-dollar television deal, and Hillary and Nate just had a multi-million-dollar television deal. What do y'all think? All right, I'm wishing everybody the best. As always, take care of yourself and each other. Bye. Hey, you guys, I wanted to do a video rewind. I hope everything is well with you and yours. Welcome back to Burgundy Blue Commentary. I wanted to talk about, if you didn't know, before I started covering Dolton, you know me for reality TV and TikTok. And I'm going to be honest, it's hard for me to grasp TikTok. I'm still learning how to grasp. So some of you guys be like, Berg, go to TikTok and post more. I'm still learning TikTok, you guys. I even got like some old messages. I was like, forgive me, I didn't know. So yeah, welcome back to Burgundy Blue Commentary. So today, you guys, to unwind, used to love to watch Miss Netta and Charles. To just unwind, that was my thing. To laugh, it was somebody else I love to watch. Oh, LaShondra and her wife, and it was just some viral TikTok people. I like to watch clean TikTok. I like to watch plant TikTok, stuff like that. I just don't know how to navigate it, but I love that short form content over there. And Miss Netta and Charles, when I came across them, it was just so funny to me to see her fixing him lunch and the little skits. And it just seemed innocent. And it seemed, I'm gonna be honest, it just was silly. It was like, this is so funny. I love down south, so they're so from down south. And it was just interesting to see. Then it started to come it started to become kind of toxic. Like Miss Netta and Charles, they just changed a little bit. And I think it had a lot to do with social media. So the other day, hold on guys, I just gotta let me pull this up for you guys. I'm just talking to a Blake. Thumbs up the video as you come in. So the other day, Joe makes my blood boil. And you know what the thing about Miss Netta, hey Lucille, the thing about Miss Netta is what I like about it is it's so unusual. It tells us the power of social media. The power when they came to Chicago, everybody was all trying to come to the when they were coming to Chicago, it was a huge thing. They did a whole tour, and it was just really interesting to see. Um, but now Miss Netta, I thought it was a skit, and it just turned into like she just hates. And she doesn't mind being called Joe. She said call her whatever. She just started being kind of mean to women. But I was like, that's the power of social media. Like if you would have used the power of social media to for good. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty cool like to use the social media. This is very unusual. She's down south minding her business in a trailer with her man. You guys know me if you know Burgundy. I can't tell anybody what they doing because I'm not there. I can't say to or fro. I only go by what they say. But she's down there with her man and they're doing these skits and it starts to go viral. They have an opportunity to now do a tour. They have an opportunity to make an income. Then it went from that to being icons. And it's like, Miss Netta, you're doing so good. Like, people are going to say things. I'm realizing it myself being on social media now that I'm talking about a subject people don't agree with. So people are going to say things, just don't watch the comments. So today, to unwind, just to get my mind off of stuff, I saw Miss Netta was live. And y'all, Miss Netta was unhinged. So before I go to what I saw in the live, and I want to go because I did play how Miss Netta and Charles made me think of Hillary and Nate. And I covered Hillary and Nate. Shout out to Miss Hillary for giving us an interview. She popped in to clear some things up. And I love that when people are able to clear things up because I don't have it right. I'm just reading what is reported. They only know their life. So she came to clear some things up. But then I saw Miss Hillary had a beef with Miss Netta. What is going on? Why you gotta have a beef? So I am still catching up on the beef, but thought it would be nice to do the live in case anyone wants to call in and say what they got to see from the beef, if the beef can be resolved. And I sort of see Miss Netta maybe maybe needing a break, maybe needing a short break. But then the stuff happened with her manager Carlos. I'm still catching up with that. Stuff happened with her manager Carlos, and they were on Larry Reid Live. I thought that was a really good interview. Um, and now she's sort of out there. She's sort of out there by herself. And this is the thing with Miss Netta and Charles, and I don't mean this in no offense. I think that they were growing, and they got these different kind of management because I think they had another manager before Carlos, and they could be taken advantage of. No shade, like they're rushing a little bit too fast on some aspects. So let's go to when Miss Hillary popped in my live, and we really got to see what was going on with her and her husband Nate. Y'all, Nate is easy on the eyes. Let's go to it, guys. Oop, I'm going to the wrong thing. Hold on. Let's go on over here to Miss, and shout out to whoever this is. I just clicked the wrong thing. Let's go to the interview with Miss Hillary when she set the record straight. She let us know about her history, what's going on in the future, and one thing that that she mentioned was she sees where Miss Netta is going right now as, hey, Reality Check TV Chicago, thanks for being here. We're talking Miss Hillary and Nate today. So I know may not be your thing, but thank you for supporting. So Miss Hillary was coming in and love you, bro. Hillary was telling us what was going on with her and Netta as well, and the BET Awards and all this stuff. So let's listen. All right, let's go, guys. I'm gonna play a little bit of that interview. You know the Wi-Fi is slow, so if anything slow up, let you know why. I do. I love it.
I want to first of all say hello, and to your viewing audience, hello to them also. What I wanted to say a few things. I've been in here since you started. The only one thing I'll say, and then we can have a conversation, is I wish when you reported my past criminal history, that was 15 to 20 years ago. That, and I think it when people don't report dates, people think that that was something that happened currently, and that I just don't feel that that's fair. That what happened 15 to 20 plus years ago. I just want to say that.
I think that's fair for you to say that. And you're right. We should put dates at it because it seemed like that just happened yesterday. You're absolutely correct. I could accept that.
Yep. And so that's what I would say about that. I did want to tell you that I did listen to your previous reporting on myself and my husband. I will
Mm.
tell you that on May 22nd, we had our wedding anniversary. I will tell you that. Contrary to what people think, there was no divorce ever filed. You did do a great job reporting that my husband did go to gag me. He didn't go to restrain me. It was his issue was to keep me off of social media speaking about him disparagingly. But I went to court with my lawyers in tow, and you know I got the coins.
Hmm.
And we went all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, do you know how difficult it is to have the Supreme Court pick up your case?
It's very difficult. Miss Hillary, how can I ask a question? Were you guys at odds when you did that, or was he like all he wanted you to do was stop talking about him? That was it, right? But
So
were you
let me
guys?
so
Mhm.
so let me put it into context. So you did a great job. I can tell you, out of everybody who's did a deep dive into me and my husband's rabbit hole, you have by far been the most accurate. And let me explain to you. So, as you know, in the beginning of my social media experience, I was posting videos of me and my husband. He was not on social media. It wasn't until then he's got to smelling his genitals. I'll be very politically correct. He got to smelling his you know what, and then he decided to post to social media. He got a child of God. I was no one, you want me to tell you what no one never knew? How close I was to offing myself, how close I was
Uh,
to losing my life. And I never ever shared that with anyone. And the things that helped act, he puts on makeup, and they play for the camera and for views. With that being said, I'll digress and I'll move on. But my thing, what I'm saying when it comes to my husband is 20 years younger than me. You knew that. You reported on that. So imagine going viral. Imagine having billions upon billions upon billions of views and people not necessarily knowing everything and family
Yeah.
knowing. It's a whirlwind. It's a lot to take in. But what I can tell you through the grace of God, through the grace of marriage counseling, through the grace of taking everything day by day, we're in a better place.
I love that. I
That's
love that for
all
you.
I can say. But I would love to we'll give you all the detail and all the tea. We'll set up a time. But I wanted to come up because you invited me. And I personally wanted to tell you that I thank you. The only thing that I would ask of you is you would you could refer to the dates because it's 15 to 20 years ago. I turned my whole life around in
Mm.
that time. And no one has reported on what Hillary's done the last 10 years about my nonprofit organizations, the money I give away, the things that I do, serving my community, and things like that. And it's just not, I just don't think that part of it's not being reported fairly. Um,
Good news never is, right, Hillary? They never give you the good.
no, yeah, they never report the good news, but like I said, they act like everyone, like no one else goes through things in their marriage, that there's no um type of infidelity or disrespect uh,
Oh,
and shame. I hear it all. I just because I don't say it because I'm in a different place. Now I will read you up and down.
yeah.
Um, I came back to TikTok because for one I could, for two I felt like I had disrespected women, and I apologized to all those women that I disrespected. And I seen that Netta was disrespecting people also, women currently calling them bees and poor, and they're on welfare and they're waiting for their
Mhm.
checks to hit and their food stamps to hit. Have you heard that?
No, I have not. But I have a question because Miss Hillary, we have more in common than you could ever imagine. With going on with social media now that I wanted to say, so when we get to Miss Netta part, I heard it today. I heard the first time on her live today, and I just my heart broke for Miss Netta. Let me be clear. I'm sure she got what way more money than I do. But I did hear her go on there and tell people about their food stamps and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, Miss Netta, like some people might watch you and have food stamps. We all might have had food stamps. You might have had food stamps before. Like why we gotta? But I know it's social media, and you get tired of people bullying you. I guess in Miss Netta case, so Miss Hillary was telling us that she sort of see Miss Netta in the space she was when she was going off because social media was getting in their relationship, tearing them apart. You kind of like, do I make money or do I just dump social media and move forward with an alternative? Do I want my relationship or do I want social media? I need the money. That's what I see with Miss Netta and Charles, and I just feel really bad. But let's get back to with Miss Hillary. You're listening to Mrs. Hillary Sanchez from Hillary and Nate. Thanks, you guys. Hit the like button. I'm dealing with my hometown, but I have a question. When did the rift come between you and Miss Netta? When did that happen?
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, during my healing process and my healing journey, I was on backup pages, and I
Mhm.
would get messages from the close people who knew that that was me, but people didn't know I was back on social media. And they were telling me, this Netta is talking about Section 8 Hillary and this and that, and no one can check this person but you. And so I just was watching him over the months calling women bees and they ain't nothing, and all they do is they don't know who their baby's daddy is. They sitting around waiting on their food stamps to hit, and all of these nasty degrading things. When you get on public assistance, you have no choice, but you're trying to raise your children, and you got this person telling them, oh, they're broke, they're this, they're that. And so I decided to come back, and I felt that no one else could put Big Joe in his place other than Hillary Sanchez. And so that's why I came back.
I appreciate that. Can I ask? I know you, and look, the offer, like, I didn't know how you would take my video. I did it on a whim. So thank you for letting me know and clarifying what you wanted. Do you think it's any way that maybe you, as a person who is living this life and you've been in the limelight, a lot of people were following you, you had that reality show on the cusp, and everything just happened because of social media. Social media will take you up or down, right?
Yeah,
Um, do you
yeah,
think you can talk to Miss Netta? Like, can you guys talk amongst each other and then maybe combine something and like have this super situation?
absolutely not. I
Okay.
I would rather stand in front of a firing squad, and if the firing squad miss me after having 5 minutes of shooting at me, then I will talk to Netta.
Oh
If
Lord.
if the firing squad misses me. But yeah, so but I will tell you this, that I definitely, if you see that I came up here, I definitely respect you. The only thing that, like I said, is I wish that you would report the dates, because it's 15 to 20 years. I'm a completely different person. I'm not apologetic. I accept the responsibilities for my actions, and that's behind me. That's not who I am today. And I just move forward. But what's being reported is this old stuff from 15 to 20 years ago, like it just happened yesterday.
Absolutely, and I could agree with that because that article was long ago. And you're right. When we do journalistic work, we need to put that in there. So I will take that and carry that with me in my career going forward.
Okay.
Anything future for Mrs. and Mr. Sanchez family? Like anything? You can
Well,
give us a little sneak peek.
well, what I will tell you is we are taking things day by day. Like I said, my husband and me just had a wedding anniversary on May 22nd of this year.
Congratulations.
And so that's what I do. There's a lot of things, healing, resentment. It's a lot. Counseling. We're counseling is a weekly thing. So
Mhm.
it we are no way out of the woods, but we're in a much better place than we were back then.
Are you going to just focus your social media on Miss Hillary instead of Hillary and Nate now, right? Just so he
So
can
so
get himself together.
this is what I had to do. I had to first of all focus on just Hillary. I had to disconnect from him, everyone. So he had went back to his mother's home. I needed to focus on me before I had a serious mental crisis, worse than what I was. I understand that I was unhinged. It was nuts. I can acknowledge that I was unhinged at one point, going after him and that particular girl whose name I won't mention. But
Mhm.
I will tell you is that once I understood everything and I put it into um, perspective, um, I know I love myself first. I put myself first. And
Mhm.
I can just tell you that whatever is meant for you will always be for you. I can't predict what will happen in the future. What I will tell you is we take things day by day.
Mm.
And I will extend the invitation with my husband and me and him at a later date with you. So on camera, and you can see us, and you can and just we'll speak our truth. He can speak his truth. I can speak mine. You can ask him, well, how are you feeling when she was going in on you? And he will be very honest with you. But the funny thing, what people don't realize is, I said, if they take the opportunity to learn somebody instead of making assumptions,
Mhm.
you may come ahead. And that's why I came up here today.
Thank you for coming up here. And I love that you teaching us how to live in the moment. We're not worried about what's going to happen. We're living in the moment. And that's what you're taking with your husband and rebuilding and time like that. Um, Anything for your social media journey, and I'll let you go. Anything that you want us to follow social media wise, or you
Oh,
just take it
I
day by day?
no, I do have social media. I am addressing Netta. I have been on this exposure train. I had already told people that Netta and Charles were not married. Also, did you hear about the BET shenanigans?
I That's what we're gonna talk about because I don't know what's going on with
Well,
BET and Carlos, and I feel so bad. What's
let
happening?
me give you my page. I reported, I got notified. I was in Los Angeles. I was there with Netta and Charles, and they didn't even know I was there. They
Okay.
weren't even invited guests there. But you go to my page and you look at the stories. I have the receipts and everything. Netta and Charles was detained for non-payment of a, a bill, a restaurant bill for drinks and food. It's all on the video. You can see it.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot. And then Netta is me. What you are going to be seeing, Netta was doing what I was doing 11 months ago. She's unwinding, she's becoming unhinged, she's becoming nasty, she's cursing women out, she's been acting like this fame has gotten to her head. She said that the only reason that the BET Awards had the highest ratings was because of the anticipation of her and Charles walking on the red carpet. Now, I don't want that delusion. I don't ever want to be that delusional. But you got to take a deep dive. You got to take a real deep dive. And Carlos really gave the tea on them. And then on top of that, I reported that Charles was at work. He was a welder for over 5 years in Alabama,
Oh,
and they were trying to fake an injury so he could get workers' compensation. Netta, on camera, it's all on my video, admitted that they hired someone to make a fake doctor's note to take to his employer. Upon further investigation from the HR department of Charles's employer, Charles was terminated for providing falsified documents.
oh
It's
no.
There's so much. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But my accounts had gotten taken down, but I'm back up to I think 25 to almost 27,000 followers on my big accounts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and all they have to do is put in Hillary Sanchez. And you can find the accounts because I have them all active.
Oh, and it's more than one, right? Because I was
Yeah,
scared to look at.
there's
Okay, I
yeah.
saw it.
So it's Hillary Queen, Hillary Sanchez, and then Queen of Queens, and something else. But you'll definitely know it's me because
Show y'all how to play games.
Sorry,
I'm
I
gonna
got
show
onto your
y'all.
page that fast,
yeah.
and
So
I'm
this
gonna show.
this you.
that you're playing right now, I'm
Uh-huh.
glad that happened. So that video that you're playing, I called him. That he's mad. You can see I put on there. I made a phone call. So I called Netta that day. I called him on the phone. And I was going in on him about some things, and then he got mad. And in that video, there was his rant after my phone call. It was all on live.
Oh no. Okay, Miss Hillary, I don't want to be disrespectful. Can we call? I think we got to call Miss Netta a miss, right? I don't want to call her.
No, he's made it very cool. Now I'm very great on calling people what they prefer their pronouns. He is on record. He did it last night on live. He said you can call him Big Joe, you can call him Joe, you can call him Joe Robinson, you can
Okay,
call.
I did. I went on that live. I saw that. Yeah.
So yeah, so he understands that he's a man. He considers himself homosexual and him and a homosexual. But the gag would be, how does Charles identify? What does Charles say he is?
No one knows that. I
Because
think a lot of people
everybody
ask that.
had him. Everybody's had Charles on these interviews, and they don't. Are they afraid to ask the question? Simple question: how do you identify Charles? I mean, I already know you identify as a man. I mean, because clearly, if you land with this, but I don't believe for 1 minute that they're in the same bedroom, that their love and their relationship was anything remotely like mine. It was all for him trying to get fame. That's
Mhm.
all it was. It was not a real relationship. Now, do I believe that Netta loves Charles? Absolutely. But
Oh yeah.
do I believe Charles loves Netta? No.
Oh no. And you know what? That is a hard place to be in. You ever been in a position? I have. I've been in a position where I love somebody more than they loved me.
Honey, let
And
me tell you something.
mhm,
You know my story, okay?
mhm,
So
mhm.
so you imagine having a husband who in your face and in my family's face and everybody else is fine, my husband and this and this, but then on his side of the family and to his friends he was single. So if you don't think that I know this by by any means.
Yeah, and you let me tell you, Miss Hillary, what you telling us, this is girl talk. We sitting over here. Have you ever been in love? If you've been in love, you know what it's like to be unhinged when somebody do you
I know.
wrong and you gave them everything.
Can
Yeah.
you at least tell me this? Can you agree with me how God blessed me with a fine husband? I don't care what nobody say. I know for a fact God took his time with him physically.
Yeah. Oh, Nate is fine. You are beautiful. Let
Thank
me tell you something. The thing about it is Nate, when we saw him, we like, oh, what is going on here?
you. Right.
And Nate had no problem standing up in front of the wedding officiary holding his wife's hand. And I
Yeah,
think that's what makes you different amongst the rest of people
absolutely.
that might
And
want
I'm
to pop
glad
up.
you recognize that. I'm so glad that you recognize that. That I'm glad that you recognize that. But like I said, that is a complete difference. Um, our wedding was on a beach. It was intimate. It was loving. It was all of those things. It wasn't for cameras. Now later on, um, I can tell you this. We were approached by TLC to do
Ooh, my favorite network.
a
Really?
show. And that show was put on hold because of obviously everything that was going on.
Mhm.
Everybody likes a good comeback story,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And that's all I can say.
I love that for you. Can you tell us what happened with the TV deal? Was it it's rumors. This is not the same, but it's rumors to say the same network that was trying to offer you a deal was the same one that Miss Netta was going to go to, and Carlos kind of messed up the deal for her allegedly.
Well, I can tell you that there were two networks who were competing for the Hillary Sanchez show, and one of them was Zeus and the other one was TLC.
Oh, those were huge networks. Okay. Yeah, TLC, we're gonna go that way. We can. And Hillary, I appreciate you. Like, I hope to hear more about you.
You will. You now that you got my page, follow me, and then I'm going to follow you back, and then I'll give you my number, and we can have some more girl talk. But I'm glad that I got to come on your show. It was a surprise. We did not plan this. You didn't even know I
No.
was in your live. Yeah,
And
but
I was
there's
so scared. And I thank you for correcting me on what you wanted to say. And I thank you for giving us this conversation. And look, I got a text. Somebody is a Hillary fan. They said, how did you and Nate meet?
well, I will tell you this. And this is what's so funny to me about Charles and Netta's story. And this is why once you do a deep dive, you'll understand that Netta copycatted my story. Netta came the same month I left, Netta came to TikTok. You've got to do your research. You'll understand.
Mm.
And you'll also understand that Netta and Charles went on the shade room and told them that Netta slid into Charles' DMs. And I had told my story how I met my husband. I met my husband on TikTok. And he had an account. He wasn't really big. His account was private. I slid into his DMs. He was doing a couple thirst trap videos. He had like a and baby, when I seen that man in them sweats and in them shorts jumping and exercise,
Ooh, child.
honey,
We saw it.
honey, I was hooked, line and sinker. I slid into that man's DMs and told him, "Can I fly you out? And we just need to talk." I don't want, and and you'll get to hear our story. But I appreciate you. So that I hope I gave her answer.
You did. Can I give you? Can I ask one more thing? We
Yeah.
know Miss Hillary is always. You're always fabulous. Wherever you go, you're doing it 4 or 5 star. What are you gonna do this weekend? Is it anything that we just want to live through you? What you gonna do this weekend that's
I
5 star?
I am taking my audience to TikTok, and I'm going to show them how to go to New York City and
Ooh.
purchase real Louis Vuitton and Gucci bags. Um,
Oh.
we're going to explore New York together, and then we're going to fly from New York down to Alabama. We're going to be flying down to Alabama because I'm going to be meeting the big creator named Gabe. I don't know if you know who Gabe is on TikTok, but
No, I want to. Oh, Gabe, he's the blonde.
yeah, the
Well,
blonde.
I have to catch up. I've been out the loop, so you being
Yes,
here is so important. But he be on there talking about he gonna take Miss Netta me.
yes, that's him. That's Gabe.
So that's this weekend. We're gonna see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned, sweetie. Thank you so much for having me. And again, like I said,
You guys, I just wanted to play a little bit of that interview. It was requested. So today we're gonna talk about what I saw over on Miss Netta page. Now you guys know I like Charles and Miss Netta, and I like Hillary for sure. I know nothing about Nate, so I can't tell Nate. Nate just like is some arm candy most of the time when Miss Hillary is on there. But you guys know I like Charles and Miss Netta. When they came to Chicago, I was supposed to go to S2 Lounge and really do a little video, and I couldn't make it. But yeah, I just it's just something fun. It's nothing, you know what I mean. It's nothing, not you, nothing to do or anything like that. It's just fun to see people be able to make an income on something called social media. They're not hurting anybody. But Miss Netta attitude is changing, and I just wanted to play that interview because we remember when we were watching Miss Hillary and Nate and her in her sports car and all this cool stuff, and all of a sudden she changed and it didn't become fun to watch anymore. So she explained to us what was going on, and it was so great that she told us. And it does get kind of weird when you're in the comments and you're getting in your head and people are talking about you, but it comes with social media. And when you get that check, baby, it come with it. So let's go into what we found Charles and Miss Netta today. Miss Netta was cooking. That chicken pot pie actually looked good to me today. And I didn't like I just didn't like that she was downing herself, Miss Netta meaning. Like when I clicked on the live, I thought I was gonna have something fun. I'm still doing my deep dive. That video is coming out, guys. I want to talk about what happened with BT, Carlos. Go back to the beginning of Charles and Miss Netta when they first started, and go from there. Hey, everybody, just answering the chat. Um, I appreciate you guys being here. It just was so it makes me feel so bad to see Miss Netta talking down to not just other people. I did notice that, and that's when it didn't become fun anymore. But she was talking down to herself. So let's take a look. And you guys, we're just going to be as kind as we can in the comments. But what do you think about that? Like, I'm like, Miss Netta, don't talk about yourself like that. But who am I? I'm just over here talking about it. So let me go. So someone popped in her. She made this chicken pot pie. It looks good to me. I'm a chicken pot pie fan. I used to get the Marie Calendar ones, and then I found out how to make it from scratch, and I love it. Um, yeah, let's.
Boy, please, and you don't even got no picture. You just got a T up here. Kiss my ass. Can't tell me what for 5 dreads. Your mammy got one. But anyway, I don't care. Talk about me, baby.
And okay, so Miss Netta, we're here in her comments, and she's going on. Somebody has something to say, like she got 5 dreads. Okay, and she's clapping back, but that was the entire video of just clapping back. And I was wondering, is it because of it? Could Miss Netta and Charles be having problems? Whether we believe the relationship, whether we don't, could it be that? Because if just imagine if she's on live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, and she's clapping, she's on 3 different phones, y'all. She going over here calling it, they not nothing. She going to the next phone, they not nothing. And I'm like, I wonder if that is really like what Miss Hillary said, like it's becoming unhinged. And I'm like, Miss Netta, it might be some haters, but it's really some people that just want to see what she's doing, just have a laugh, have a gag, a kiki. So let's go back. Hey, exactly, Erica. Hello, everybody. Jazzy, Serenian, what do you have to say? Yeah, Miss Hillary has a lot going on to be dealing with Netta and Charles foolery. Yeah, I felt like she probably did have a lot going on. Miss Hillary had her own space on social media. So she explained it was when she was hearing about Miss Netta talking down to women she did not like. I don't recall Miss Hillary doing that, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but they are similar in a lot of ways. She was just talking down to one woman in her one woman in her man's DMs. um Now exactly, Erica, thank you. I got it. Now I'm doing a deep dive. How did now I'm from what I understand, T.S. Madison, who I love, I heard that she um it was because of something Craig said, right? On T.S. Madison's show, but T.S. Madison didn't stop what Craig said. I'm still doing a deep dive video. You guys, that'll be out this weekend with Hillary, Nate, T.S. Madison. Shout out to the Messy Sweet Spot. I was watching a lot of it over there. So I appreciate Miss Gigi. I've been watching. It's so funny. I've been watching Miss Gigi. If you didn't know, here in Chicago, it used to be this place called the East of the Ryan. And so I know you're probably like, Burgundy, how are you even covering the trans and blah, blah, blah? Let me give you a little background. I had a friend, and she has since passed away. And she had, we grew up together, and she had a child by Flame Monroe. Flame Monroe is a comedian to a lot of people, and a social media icon, actress, radio host. But coming up in Chicago, Flame Monroe, she hosted different club nights around the circuit in Chicago. And that goes back to my career. So my other career, is in fashion. So doing what I was doing in fashion, I got a lot of my start dressed, not like just telling people what to put on, not styling per se. I was just like, this look good with this. And I would do a lot of that stuff for some of those shows. It's not Flame, other people. So rest in peace to Miss Tasha. Lil Papa, that's what we used to call Miss Tasha. And since then, and shout out to Flame, always been a good person out here. Like, we could watch coffee talks and stuff like that, but Flame really was a cool person that cared about her kids. And and made it through Hollywood. So I continued when I got to Hollywood to do my work and stuff. One of the first jobs I had was with I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it was a drag queen. That was one of my first jobs I had, and getting them together. And it went from there. So I started to meet, that was back then. I don't even think we were calling people transgendered back then. I'm just being honest. It was like another word they were calling them. So T.S. Madison, she she opened a lot of doors and Flame, in my opinion, and I don't think Flame says she's trans, but it used to be like when we saw women, even if they lived as men, gender, I'm trying to get it right. People born a boy, right? And then they turned into a woman or whatever. We would call them drag queens back then, right? Or something like that. But now it's so many different avenues, and you can be he, she, they. I like that. I really like that. That's pretty cool to me. And that you can walk down the street. Back in the day on the south side of Chicago, I don't think anybody had the kahunas or whatever you call it to be their self other than Flame. We would see Flame walk, grocery shop, live their life as a person, and that was a good example for me when I got into dressing certain people and identifying. I'm always really careful. So you heard me even with Miss Netta. I'm like, wait, if she call herself Miss Netta, I'm gonna call her Miss Netta. Like, I don't care if you tell me to call you they. I'm gonna call you they. I'm one of those people, because it's your life. Okay. Um. So we there. Oh, so you're gonna have to fill me in with the TS Madison. Exactly, Erica. I have to check out follow up on your content too on the Huntsville. You guys follow exactly Erica if you like reality TV shows. I love the discussion she has. Shout out to her. Lucille says, I know Flame in the East of Orion. Hey, the playing balls used to be held there on 79th. Sure was. Sure was. Flame is a single father doing awesome with raising the kids. I love Flame. Yeah. Flame was totally awesome. Like, Flame doesn't know me at all, but it was really cool just to see how, I guess how Flame how Flame lived their life and how they packed up and went to California, and look at them now. And back then to see Flame Monroe on Comic View, man, that was very different. And then like Flame, to really, she or they, I don't know. Flame said he, she, we. Flame was one of the first people I ever knew in like our neighborhood to get like breasts, real breasts. Like most of the women that were dressing at that time at the Easter Ryan thing, a lot of them, not all, but some, they weren't they were wearing like a prosthetic, some of them, like RuPaul Drag Race. But Flame had it all. It was really interesting. Thank you. Love you too, the real Magnolia. Hello to Lucille. Okay, so look, we got somebody that got some history with Flame Monroe. So this is pretty interesting. So I guess let's continue to what I saw happen with Joe today. Not Joe. I ain't called him. Miss Netta. What Miss Netta said it's okay to call both. Okay. Um, let's go to this is the one that broke my heart. So Miss Netta was getting dinner out the stove, and it was just continuing to down herself. And I'm like, Miss Netta, don't down yourself. Don't kick yourself.
My nasty ass.
So just everything. And then she's like, I'm making more money than you. Y'all sitting there on your bed bug couch. And that never gets me. Like when people make money on social media and they're able to increase their lifestyle, they always go back to how broke we are. And a lot of those people be the ones supporting them, like $1 here. Like somebody sent Miss Netta $1.99. Thank you. She was like, oh, it was just a little dollar. That stuff adds up. And then she was like, okay, I made 500 over here. I can kick y'all up out of here with your bum asses. I was like, Miss Netta. So she does need management. Miss Netta and Charles needs management, but they need good management, because some of these things she might not say if she had great management. That's my thoughts. Let's go.
This is my nasty ass chicken pot pie that I made for my husband. I prepared for my husband, y'all. Some nasty shit. But we're gonna eat it and we're gonna enjoy it and it's gonna be good. Y'all see how nasty my stove and stuff is? The nasty ass stove. Nasty ass stove, nasty ass house. Everything nasty in this motherfucker. That kitchen table is crowded with all the school supply stuff. But anyway. But then these the nasty ass crescent rolls that me and my husband are gonna eat too. You know, hey, we're gonna eat that nasty shit too. Okay. So I'm done with y'all too. All right, so
it made me so sad just to see that, like, she just continued to down her husband, everything about their house and stuff. Like, instead of I know I sound sappy, but just It does that make you more money, or would that make more people block you? I'm wondering. What do y'all think in the comments?
Let me let y'all go. This is the dishwater. I don't wash my dishes. I'm do washing dishes. I don't got no dishes. Everything in the dish train. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all go too, and and stuff and things. Damn. So again, let me tell y'all. I'm talking.
Y'all, this is when I was like, Miss Netta, you okay? I wanted to give Miss Netta a hug. I'm like, Miss Netta, you okay now? Miss Netta had, she like, I'm talking to y'all, and it was the comments getting to poor Miss Netta. And I was like, come on, Miss Netta, don't. It's almost like I'm watching it as I'm catching up and trying to compose the other video. It's like Miss Netta giving up on herself, like almost on a nervous breakdown type of situation.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something, whether y'all hate or whether y'all don't. Sometimes I don't like y'all either. But I still get on here and I do my job and make my money. That ain't because I want to. That's because I am going.
Nope. I caught that one. I was with Miss Netta there. She was like, it's not because I want to, it's because I have to, is what she really wanted to say. And that's not no shade. That's what because she wouldn't be taking her, or Miss Netta wouldn't be taking herself through all this if she could kick her feet up on the couch and relax. You know what I mean? So I was like, nope, not getting that one.
Okay. So, by that being said, let me get my fat, ugly, bumpy face ass up off this motherfucker. So, because now y'all.
Can anybody tell me why? Why would you even talk about yourself like this, Miss Netta? No. And it's okay for you to clap back. But I mean, she kept repeating, like, Miss Netta, girl, my skin too, baby. My skin too is not the best, especially if I did not do my water intake. Okay. Things like that. They're gonna talk, but don't keep repeating it. Like, we didn't even get to know the recipe of the chicken pot pie.
Said it all through the comments and stuff and things. Like I'm supposed to get upset and get mad. Ooh, all that stuff.
Child, wait a minute. Y'all gotta let me not interrupt. This is when she went unhinged. I said, Miss Netta.
This motherfucker. So because now y'all done said it all through the comments. Said, let me get my fat, ugly, bumpy face ass up off this motherfucker. So because now y'all done said it all through the comments and stuff and things. Like I'm supposed to get upset and get mad. Ooh, all that stuff. Okay.
Y'all, I'm not laughing at Miss Netta. Look, I was on the verge myself. I was like, Miss Netta. Oh, Miss Netta. Come on now. Like, we do not have to I just wanted to point this out. Y'all know, if I'm over here, don't down or degrade yourself for anybody. You know what I mean? And I just think that I wonder if this is true. Does Miss Netta, she had like 2,000 people in the chat when I was watching. Does she make more money when she go off on people like this?
Well, let me get up off this motherfucker because I'm tired of looking at you and I'm tired of talking to you. So guess what? Get the fuck gone, bitches.
Child, I'm working on my compilation, but I think a lot of it does have to do with what Miss Hillary said when she was like, yeah, Miss Netta is where I was at one point. That's why I thought it was important to play that interview. I hope everything works out for Miss Netta and Charles. I hope they get really good representation, because she might need some help, because that is a lot of responsibility. We heard Charles say he's still keeping his job, but Miss Netta says social media is her job. So she's doing all this and it's going left really fast. Let me know your thoughts. As always, we're gonna support who we can when we can, and we always gonna be respectful. And I just thought that was a good. It just made me think, looking at her live, and it went on and on and on. She just downed herself, then went from downing herself to downing the people in the chat, clapping back to them.
Trey, boy, please, and you don't even got no picture. You just got a tee up here. Kiss my ass. Can't tell me what but 5 dreads. Your mammy got 1. But anyway, I don't care. Talk about me, baby.
She does care. She does care. And that's the problem. And it's going to get worse. You guys take care of yourself and each other. We're hoping the best for everybody. Bye.
Commentary blue, commentary, burgundy, commentary, comment blue, commentary, comment burgundy blue, commentary blue.